Hello, everyone. Hi. We might be on the air live right now, coming to you. I am your host, your Kevinly Father, Kevin Williams. Let me just take a quick look, make sure that we are, in fact, broadcasting. I never know. That's what makes it so exciting. Going to one source here and looking. It's just spinning. Let me go to the YouTubes and see if anything is happening on the YouTubes that make me happy. Go ahead, show me. Twitter working. Okay, did that just come in? It appears to have. I think we are good on YouTube as well because I hope we are. Let's open it up here and see what's happening right there. And it looks like people are there. Let's see if I'm there. It says we've been live for 39 seconds. Yay! And there's not too much of a delay at all. Okay, good. So we are connected. Let's get going here. Thank you, Marcy. Hi, producer Joanna. Hi, Ann. Hi, Stephanie. Good to see everybody in here today. Let's get going. Don't I have a manly clap? Yay! I have a very, very loud clap. I'm not going to do it here, but I assure you that people, like if I'm with people at a theater, and I'm good at starting a clap as well. I'm good at starting a round of applause. If I'm with people at a theater and I'm clapping, often that's because I have a very. I'm not gonna clap right now. My whole life, people have been saying that kid's got the clap. Cheers. The house where I am. This is Pembroke Studios, by the way. The house with Pembroke Studios. They are completely out of any kind of beverage. They're out of cold water, so I use straight vodka from the freeway. From the freeway, I've already had a little bit. It's straight vodka from the freezer. Okay. Welcome. Hey, congratulations, David, on being first. So this is the interview between the former guy. Oh, what was his name? He used to be he used to before the coup. He was in office. Sorry, totally drawing a blank on him right now. Oh, his name's right there. Trump joined. Former President Donald Trump joined. So we're going to listen to President Trump join here, and he's talking with Danny Bagina, and he's going to interview him and ask him a few questions. Now, we're not going to show you his program in its entirety. We're not going to do that. We are just going to take snippets, mostly the Trump interview, and we will be discussing them. We will be analyzing them. We will be creating a town hall, if you will, with your opinions and my opinions, which are factual, and we will go from there. This is creating a public space to have a political discussion with a relevant political figure, me, and we're going to be talking about the former guy. So sit back, relax, and let's get this done. David, let's go to a Mariners game. I'm nowhere near the Mariners. Are they playing the Dodgers soon, or the Angels? Are you coming down for that? We'll figure out a way. We'll buy Angels tickets resale so that the owner of the Angels, who's a big what is his name? See, I've forgotten it already. Oh, the guy who used to be in the White House. Blanked on it, and it's right on the Trump joined. Anyway, he's a big supporter of that guy, of the guy who was the blogger for a while. We'll get some tickets. We'll get some resale so he doesn't get any money out of them. Here we go.
President Trump, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Okay, I am not connected. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but you probably got echo. Give me a moment. Okay, I just disconnected myself. Sorry, folks. Questions in the chat room. Stephanie, Kevin says, Kevin, are we doing the My Pillow suppository for Simps tomorrow? Yes, yeah, we probably are. I think. It depends on what time it starts and stuff like that. I have a tennis thing to do in the morning, and then after that, I think I'm good. So maybe I'll set it to record. We'll figure it out. I'll work on that tonight. But if somebody has the details on that, please let me know, and we'll do what we can on that.
Well, thank you very much, Dan.
No, I'm sorry. He's still not in your ear. Give me a second. I might have to go old school on this. Let me plug in the big headphone and see if that works.
Dan, good to be with you.
Sir, so when you were
And now he's nowhere. I can't hear him. You guys can't hear him. How about it, computer? How about letting us hear some of the audio of the interview? It makes it more interesting, I think, for the listener, especially since Trump can't be bothered to even like you can do a Zoom interview. You can do a Google Meets. You can do a Skype. You have a telephone. They could set this up so that Donald Trump actually had camera time. Everybody else does it. Nope, can't be bothered. Give me another second. I know you guys can hear him. I have to be able to hear him. I could just play him for you. Here's what we'll do. I'll play him for you, and I won't be able to hear him, but you guys do the fact checking and just let me know what's happening. And that way, isn't it about time for my birthday week? I would like not to have to do the heavy lifting, so you guys can do the heavy lifting for me. Hold on, let me try one more time. Let me try this. Let me try without the headphones, see if there's actual echo coming through. So I'm going to play him just for a second here.
in office, you declared an emergency at the
it.
border in April of 2020 when you realized the problems we were going to have with the coronavirus. Apprehensions at the border dropped.
And he's jerky, and you're not hearing anything. Okay, hold on. This is going really swimmingly well. Have I told you guys I might be getting my own TV channel? I hope they're watching. OAN, if you're watching, this is what you have to look forward to. How about this one? Can we try this one? Let's listen.
To 16,000. 16,000 after you made that decision.
Okay, there. 16,000 after you've made that decision. Was there echo there? At random says yes, echo, but that's before I actually played what I wanted to play within the system in which I play. Waiting for a response. Was there echo on that? Did you guys hear him echoing? Geez, I don't know how much of a delay. Oh, you know what? It's probably this chat window is also giving me delay. Let me do this. Let me get rid of him, and I can see. Yes, echo. No, okay, no echo. Sounds okay to me, but I'm high. I don't hear any. Okay, so we'll just play him through these speakers here and see if this works. And I won't have to wear any headphones whatsoever. If it starts to bother you guys, let me know, and we will go from there. Here we go, and here is Don Bagino talking with. God damn it! Why can't I remember his name? Anyway,
President Biden's done the exact.
Let's go back.
You declared an emergency.
Okay, quiet.
Joining me now is the 45th President of the United States.
Here we go.
Donald Trump.
President
Trump, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. Good to be with you.
Sir, so when you were in office, you declared an.
Such high energy since he left office. Isn't it? Just every time. Thank you, Dan. So good to be with you.
Emergency at the border in April of 2020 when you realized the problems we were going to have with the coronavirus.
Yep.
Apprehensions at the border dropped to 16,000.
Right, because nobody was coming here because we had the coronavirus. We were the worst country in the world with the coronavirus. Now, we knew eventually the countries with higher populations or populations close and not the right medical treatment available, countries like India, Brazil, etc., they were going to eventually overtake the United States. Well, good news, kids. We are still the gold medal winner. Despite the odds, the United States has persevered. We've persevered. We are still the number one country on the planet for coronavirus cases and deaths. USA! USA!
16,000 after you made that decision. President Biden's done the exact opposite, and apprehensions at the border are upwards of 200,000. This is a total failure, isn't it?
Yeah, apprehensions. That's Customs and Border Patrol apprehending people. They're doing their job, and they're doing a fantastic job at it. More than 200,000 people. Do you know what it takes to apprehend 200,000 people? Way to go, CBP. Chicken, beef, pork. I'm with you.
There's never been anything like it. We had the safest border, the most secure border in the history of our country, and now
because nobody would come here because we had the coronavirus. And it's a good thing they didn't come. Some of them would have added to the more than 600,000 dead. Remember when Trump said, hey, if we end up with like 100,000, 200,000, I think you could say we've done a pretty good job. It was triple 200,000. And it's still happening, by the way.
We have by far the worst. Hundreds of thousands of people are pouring.
By far the worst. I'm not sure to what he's referring, but I'm looking at his image and thinking, yeah, by far the worst. Those are the words that come to my mind.
Into our country on a monthly basis, and we're talking about millions of people, millions and millions. And the worst of all is
we're actually not talking about millions of people. None. Many of the encounters are duplicate. About 35% of the encounters, the apprehensions, are duplicates of the same people that we've already expelled. Trump's Title 42, which says we're in a pandemic, you're not coming in, that's still in effect. In June, I don't think we have the final figures on July yet because those get revised and then it's released. Should be soon. If they haven't released them yet, it should be soon. It's now the 9th. It'll be coming. So in June, but somewhere around 190, 200,000 people, 105,000 of them were immediately rejected. Nope, you're not coming in, Title 42. But and those 200,000 people, those were apprehensions. Those were encounters. Those weren't actual people. The real number of people, somewhere around 145, 150,000. So 2/3 of everybody coming across the border immediately expelled. How do you get to stay? Well, you have a valid asylum claim and you have with you a child, or you're a child by yourself. We do not just take children and say, no, you're out of here. Thanks for making the 1,000-mile journey. Get the fuck out. We don't do that. Why? Because we're America.
Other countries are emptying out their jails and prisoners are coming in, and these are rough.
And they are being apprehended and immediately expelled. Problem solved.
Prisoners. These are the toughest prisoners you'll find anywhere.
Oh, the toughest prisoners. What, American prisoners aren't tougher than these guys? Come on.
And they're coming into our country totally unchecked, and it's
That's not true at all. They're coming in, they're being apprehended, they're being processed and sent back out again. But okay.
Disgrace. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country.
They're not destroying our country. They're not coming in. The prisoners are if the prisoners are apprehended, they're being sent right back out again. They're being expelled. And then they try again. And we catch them and we expel them again. And again, and again, and again, and again. Again, 35% of the apprehensions in June were people who tried to get in before. We're doing a good job at this. We can't help it that everybody wants to be with us. I'm speaking about the country, not me specifically, but I'm so used to, anyway.
Mr. President, you had a big win and endorsement.
It's my birthday on Friday. Hey, did you guys see, it's in the dishwasher. Marcy sent me a birthday present. It's very nice of her.
Endorsement of Mike Carey.
So I should be like a YouTuber. I should get a P.O. box. Not a YouTuber, Instagrammer. So I know my Kevinly daughter has a friend who is a relatively famous Instagrammer, YouTuber, whatever. I guess YouTuber, influencer. She's an influencer, and people send stuff to her post office box all the time. Like someone sent, was it a unicorn suit? I think they sent her like a full on zip up unicorn pajama things with the horn and everything. I don't want that. I do not want that. But what I'm saying is, she doesn't want people knowing where she lives because she's right off of Entwistle, just on the 4500 block, just by the dog park, up there in the West Hills. She's got a cute little place. It looks like a cottage. It's got like this red door. Anyway, she doesn't want anyone knowing where she lives. So she has a P.O. box. I think that's a good idea. I mean, when you're adorable like she is, and she is, then you get yourself a P.O. box. You don't let people know where you live. And if you look like me, then I'll let everybody know. Pembroke Studios is located at, hold on, I got to go check the address. I'll be right back. You know what? I will do that later.
For Congress, big win for you and your endorsement over there. What are your feelings about 2022?
By the way, they're talking about one win for a congressional seat of a Trump supporter, but it's not a congressional seat. It's, in fact, just a primary. So someone in a primary won, and Trump endorsed them. In Texas a couple of weeks ago, his big endorsement lost, and apparently he's furious about it. And he's furious at specific people. But this is all, it's like none of this matters right now.
And 2024, if you wouldn't mind, given the Democrats' obvious overreach, defunding the police, inflation.
Democrats are not defunding the police on a national level. Biden is against defunding the police. Pelosi's against defunding police. That's all local stuff. Those decisions are local anywhere. Anyway, why are my glasses so crooked? You know what I want for my birthday? Glasses that aren't crooked on my face. I think my face is just crooked. Wait. I don't know. Wait a second. Yeah? Well, these are so dirty. And you know what? My face is crooked. That's it. My face is crooked. I'm just going to go glassless.
Out of control. We don't even have a southern border anymore. Your feelings on 2022 and where the Democrats.
We do, in fact, have a southern border.
Luck may be.
Well,
Such hysteria. Fox News is pretty much just listening. It's like listening to my mother. Well, I don't, just, fine. If you're going to not take the biology test in time, if you're not going to get your homework in, you might as well just give up on life. You're done. Okay, Mom. Maybe I'll do my homework in the morning. If that's okay.
I feel very good about it. We also had a big win in Texas. So we had 2 Republicans running. We won 3 months ago.
This is what his claim is now. The one in Texas where the person he endorsed lost, he's calling it a big win because there was another Republican one. Yeah, this is a primary.
A big one, and we got 2 Republicans running, no Democrat. And the Democrats that voted, of course, voted against me. But that was a tremendous.
Yeah. Actually, that one might not have been a primary. That was to replace, that was a special election, I think. And his person lost, but he's calling it a big win because a Republican beat his, and he's Republican, therefore he endorsed both candidates. What was it? I have that person's name. What is the person's? It doesn't matter right now. So let's keep moving.
This win, and then we had the big win.
But that again, his person lost, but because another Republican run. This is just Texas, right? 2 Republicans, no Democrat in the runoff. Might not even been a runoff. I don't even remember. His person lost. Susan, somebody doesn't matter.
In Ohio, that was more of a normal election, and Mike won by really a lot. I mean, what he did was fantastic. And
okay. So the one in Texas was not a normal election. That's his thinking. That's how he's able to justify his loss in Texas because it wasn't normal. It wasn't a normal election.
He trounced the opposition and some very good people.
It's so odd. It's so weird, so different. Getting used to Trump saying that he won an election that he clearly lost. It's not like him.
People in that opposition, by the way, but Mike Carey's going to do a fantastic job. He's got an election coming. But I think he's going to do very well in it.
Mr. President, where do you stand on this explosion and reemergence of mandates? We get it. We've heard the science on the vaccine. We get it. It's a serious.
It's great. It's fantastic. Everybody should get the vaccine, right, Mr. President?
Serious threat to virus, to at-risk groups. Everybody understands that.
Everybody's at risk. If you are breathing, you are at risk to COVID.
You didn't have as much information when you got in office. It was a new virus, obviously.
Right.
Where do you stand on these mandates?
Well, first of all, could you imagine if I were president right now and we had this massive attack?
Yeah, I can imagine that because it happened. It's very vivid to me. You guys, can you imagine if Trump was in office and the COVID virus attacked? Can you imagine that? Oh, my God. Phil Harmonic is saying, hey, Kevin, have you seen that Dr. Dan Stocks, Mount Vernon School Board, making the rounds? No, I haven't. Shoot me a DM or somebody. Somebody shoot me a DM on that. We'll take a look. I still have just the 2 monitors going here, so I've got to kind of juggle things. But if somebody sends me a link, I'll do what I can with that.
From the coronavirus, now they like to call it they have new names and they'll have other new names, but it's exactly what.
Oh, they have new names and they have other new names? So new names.
What we had the.
So, but Corona, COVID, those weren't good enough names for you? He called it, remember, they called it 1,000 things. I remember getting on an off-ramp in Totem Lake, Washington, and my daughter and I are both listening to the radio, And he goes, some people call it the China virus. Some people call it coronavirus. Some people call it Corona 19. And she turns to me, she says, Dad, nobody calls it Corona 19. No, they do not. It's COVID 19.
Same thing. If that were me, they'd be saying, what a horrible thing, what a horrible job. I don't ever hear that, and these are numbers in some cases that are equivalent to what it was, but we don't hear that.
No, but we did hear it when you were doing it because Biden's actually trying to combat the virus. You weren't even testing. Remember? Of course, we're going to find more viruses. There's more testing. Of course, there's going to be more cases. Come on, you idiots.
I think this. I have to be a big vaccine fan because I'm the one that got it done so quickly. We got
yes,
it done
you
in
did,
less
sir.
than 9 months. It was supposed to take 5 years. They would have never even gotten it done. So I'm a big fan. At the same time, I'm a big fan of our freedoms. And people have to make that choice for themselves. And I would recommend that they get it and they get it done.
Yep.
And they're being protected. And the vaccines turn out to be a tremendous thing. And
Good. Keep hammering that. Don't worry about the freedom part. Just keep hammering. Make the choice to get the vaccine. That's all you need to say.
I also, though, feel strongly there are some people that do not want to do it. And
you feel strongly that there are some people that don't want to do it. Okay.
I really believe in somebody's choice, somebody's freedom, and that's the way it is. The mandates are crazy, and what they're doing with schools now they don't know, are they going to keep them closed, or what are they doing? The teachers' union now is in flux. All of the things that are happening, people have to get back. The kids have to get back to school. They do very well against the coronavirus. They do unbelievable, or as I call it, the China virus, because that's what it is. It's
they got a lot of names for it. There are new names for it. There's many new names for it. They have new names for it. There's new names. Have you heard the new names? They're new names. There's lots of names for it.
China virus, that's where it came from. Came from the lab. I said it came from the lab. Now they're all saying, well, I guess he was right about that. But they used to take people off. They probably still do. They'd take them off Twitter. They'd take them, they'd deplatform people when you said it came from the lab.
They stopped that.
From the Wuhan.
They don't actually do that. You can say that it came from lab. We don't know. We do not know. And during the time when it would be most likely that we would find out, when Joe Biden was saying, if I was president, I would force our way in there and I would make China open up so that we would know where this thing came from. And Donald Trump was saying, I just want to praise President Xi for his transparency, for his hard work. The Chinese are working so hard. President Xi called me. We're just great friends. We have a great relationship.
On lab, and it's a disgrace what happened. Frankly,
it is a disgrace that you didn't press it when you should have pressed it. Again, Biden last year in February was saying we need to investigate this and figure out what happened. Where did this virus come from? We have to fight the Chinese government on this. And what was what's his face doing here? I forgot his name again. Hold on, it's right there. Trump. Oh, I don't know why I can't remember that. He was busy praising the Chinese. And the CDC got kicked out of China. And he did nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Disgrace.
Mr. President, that segues into my next question I was going to ask. The media coverage during your administration was an abomination. And that may be selling it short. I mean, it was really atrocious.
So an abomination is selling it short? Okay. What's beyond abomination? Abomination is abomination. I miss it. I miss this country being Obama's nation. I do.
It was the Wuhan lab leak, which looks likely at this point, and accurately, you said that in the beginning.
No, he didn't say that. He said it did come from a lab. But you're correct. I'm going to say, Dan, that it might be likely. You didn't say that, but you said likely. I'm going to let that stand. We don't know. Could be, could not be. Either way, we don't have evidence either way.
And pointed that could be a likely scenario. But one of the other things I find odd is, you were very gracious to Democrat governors during the crisis.
Democratic? There's no such thing as a Democrat governor.
Whether it was Governor Murphy you had at the White House or Governor Cuomo, even though you have obvious political differences. You sent the comfort up there. And these Democrat governors had a really terrible record. Their deaths per 100,000 people are the worst in the country in New York and New Jersey. And yet now it's the opposite approach by the media.
Well, no, you're forgetting about South Dakota and Rhode Island, which is also Democratic. But yeah, the states that got the vaccines, the state that got the viruses early, they suffered the most because we had nothing to deal with them. In the second wave, that's when the states in the Midwest, the South got it, etc., did nothing about it. And if you take out that first hump where the few states got it and it was bad because we didn't know what to do and everybody was catching, we didn't know how it was transferred, etc., take those out of the equation, the Republican governors did much, much worse. And here we are again with the Delta variant, and it's the Republican governors. This will even out because Delta is just so very transmissible. It doesn't care. It does not care. If you've got a high vaccination rate in a state, good for you. Now, a lot of those southern states have really high rates of people who've already had COVID. Remember that whole oh, you have COVID, it gives you immunity. Nonsense. People are catching COVID twice. It's not helping. Now, hopefully, it gives you a level of immunity that keeps you out of the hospital. I'm hoping that's the case. So far, at least in Florida, it does not look like that.
Sir. Now Joe Biden's in the White House, has his own crisis to deal with, and Republican governors Abbott and DeSantis all of a sudden are the enemies. Odd, no?
Yeah.
No, they've always been the enemy. Well, how's that odd? It's Abbott, DeSantis.
Well, it's a great way of phrasing it. It's very interesting. You know, I used to do a weekly call. We would have a weekly call with governors, and all governors, Republicans, Democrats, would have 50 governors on plus, because we'd have people from the islands, we'd have others, but we'd had 50 governors, and they were very gracious, and they would say what a great job we did, unbelievable job, and then...
And they would also complain. The Republican governors would even complain. Hogan was complaining. We have those, a few of those governor calls were either leaked or he broadcast them to show that, look, I'm working with all the governors. The governors were complaining regularly.
Some of them would go out and do a press conference and say exactly the opposite. It was disgraceful.
And some of them were saying it consistently. They were being consistent with it. And remember how you said that you weren't going to help governors unless they praised you? Governors like Inslee or Whitmer, that woman in Michigan. Do you remember that?
I could, and by the way, we could write a book on governors. I am the king of governors.
You're the king of governors? I'm not sure that's exactly in Article 1 or 2 or 3 in the cause. I'm not sure where the whole king of governors comes from, but okay.
Because I could tell you the good one.
So you're the king of governors and debt. Well, he is the king of debt. More debt than any other president in history. Oh, and just one term. By the way, again, the only president since we started keeping track to leave office with fewer jobs than he came in with. The only one. All of the difficulties we've had over the decades since we started keeping track of that. The first and only president to lose jobs. That guy. Him. I'm sorry, his name escapes me again. It's on Trump.
Ones and the bad ones, and you have some very good ones, and you have some really, really bad ones. Both parties, but you have some good ones and some really bad ones. But
are you going to write a book about the governors? You've been threatening that for months now, but it's going to be the book of all books. You would call him a wordsmith.
I noticed the way they're going after DeSantis. I noticed the way they're going after our great governor from Texas, and he's done. Greg Abbott.
Did you notice that? It's like my mom would say to my brother, "You're a good noticer, David."
He's done a really good job. Ron.
He was. My brother's a good noticer. It's true. My mom was right.
Ron's done a really good job. But they're going after Republican governors. I, to a much lesser extent, did that, unless I thought they were doing a bad job.
To a much lesser extent. hey, Inslee, we're not helping you. We're going to take your ship away. We're going to send it to Los Angeles because Newsom's been saying nice things about me. That happened. That happened. He diverted the USS Mercy from Seattle down to Los Angeles because Inslee was not praising him and Newsom was. Screw you, Washingtonians. You know, the original epicenter of the virus here in the United States. We're pulling your medical care. Oh, and by the way, now that we're not happy with New York anymore, you know what? When the vaccine comes out, people in New York are not going to get the vaccine. You remember that? He did that. He said that.
Obviously did a horrible job. I mean, they've destroyed their states. It's going to be years before they can really come back. But no, it's a total double standard, and the press understands that. But the press has been unbelievably dishonest and corrupt.
You know, you're talking to Fox News right now, the #1 news channel. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible how the governors, again, were heroes in your administration despite being goats, and now the opposite story because you're out of office.
The governors were heroes in your administration despite being goats. Goats. You say goats like greatest of all times? The governors were heroes despite being goats. I don't know, guys. Does anybody have any idea what he means by that? Let's listen again.
Republican governors. I, to a much lesser extent, did that, unless I thought they were doing a bad job. Some obviously did a horrible job. I mean, they've destroyed their states. It's going to be years before they can really come back. But no, it's a total double standard, and the press understands that. But the press has been unbelievably dishonest and corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible how the governors, again, were heroes in your administration despite being goats, and now the opposite story because you're out of office.
Is he talking about Abbott and the Republican governors? I don't. At random says he was denying pre-check TSA renewals in New York too. It wasn't. Yeah. You weren't allowed to renew your Nexus card or your TSA pre-checks, stuff like that, if you were trying to cross the border out of New York or take a flight out of New York. And that had to do with driver's licenses for immigrants. And he did all kinds of stuff. And he wanted to withhold funds from sanctuary cities and states. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. Congress allocates where the money goes, buddy. And that didn't stop him from stealing money from the military to build the wall. So screw you, military families.
Let me move on to a different topic, if I may. Cori Bush, member of the Squad.
But he said there's nothing. Scapegoats? Is he talking about scapegoats? He's saying goat in the modern lexicon. That's greatest of all time. When you call somebody a goat, Michael Jordan, goat. Wayne Gretzky, goat. Although I haven't heard anyone say that because it just doesn't sound like a hockey phrase. Anyway, all right, let's just move on from that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm an excellent sleeper lately. Allison says, on the blue chat, it says Chris needs more head. Lotion was cut off. Chris, well, that is accurate. Allison, I think you see the blue chat different than everybody. I think maybe your font settings are, no, that doesn't make any sense. There's no adjustment to the font for you guys. I decide what you guys see. But yeah, Chris, see if you can work on that. Is your wife watching?
She's a congresswoman. She came out this week and reignited calls to defund the police. This has been an absolute apocalypse for the Democrats, even though Joe Biden, during the campaign against you, was on the record saying, yeah, he'd be for reallocating some money away from police. This is going to be a disaster for them in 2022, isn't it?
Well, I think it's going.
That's not what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden has always been against defunding the police. Always. And for training and for more police officers. In fact, as soon as he got into office, the first thing they did was pass a law that gave police departments a ton of money. Because remember, the federal government doesn't really pay the police. They give money to the states and the municipalities, and they hire and pay the police. Counties, etc. A county is a municipality.
To be. I think we're going to do very well. We've done a great job. Look, we had the strongest border in the history of our country.
We didn't.
Another 2 months, we would have had the wall completed. Now they're paying billions and billions of dollars not to build the wall.
That would be $4 billion. They are not.
Not to complete it. We would have had it done in 2
No.
months, maybe even less than that.
But what about the paint? Do they have to paint it?
Got to be painted or it's
Yeah.
going to rust. They know that, but they
Yeah.
don't want to do that either. They are just, who knows where they're coming from. Look what's coming into our country. Who knows what they're doing. But
Well, I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. CBP knows exactly what they're doing. Actual smart people know exactly what they're doing. You could know what they were doing because the CBP puts out a monthly newsletter that explains everything, all of the details that you want to see, down to the exact number of people that they are expelling under your Title 42. Joe Biden just re-upped that last week. Now, for months, the Republicans were going to say, oh, he's doing Title 42 now, but he's going to end that. He's going to get rid of that. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of it. No, he could end Title 42 like that. It's not a law. It's a policy. As president, he could change it like that. What did he do it? What did he do it? What did he do last week? He re-upped it. He extended it. And they're using Title 42 to expel illegal immigrants.
I will tell you, I watched her the other day. I watched the hatred. I
think he's talking about Cori Bush, congressperson, who said that the police need to be defunded.
The statements that she was making. And no, she wants to defund, and they want to defund. You know, it's not a popular issue. So they're trying, some of them are trying to back off it. But they want to defund the police.
She is not trying to back off it. She explains that she was elected by her constituents to solve the problem of police killing black people. That's why she's there. So she's not backing off that. Now, is defunding the solution to that? I don't think so. But what is the solution to that? We've been trying.
They want like the voter ID. They don't want it. They don't want voter ID. Now, every once in a while, you'll see them come out, oh, absolutely, we love voter ID, because they're seeing poll numbers.
We love voter ID?
88% positive. So some of them are now saying, look, we can't ruin our political career over it. So all of a sudden they're saying.
Yeah, by the way, when Cori Bush talks about defunding the police, she talks about diverting the money to other social programs, either safety nets or counseling, etc. You do that to take the criminals out of the system to begin with, right? Without people committing the crimes, you don't have that issue, except, of course, when police are attacking people who aren't committing a crime, like the real estate agent showing a black family a house the other day. Somebody called the cops on them.
Will accept voter ID. It's disgraceful, but they want to defund the police.
No. Biden is on record every single time saying, I am totally opposed to defunding the police.
And tell me that makes sense. Look at what's going on in New York. Look at the.
Oh my God. You want to take a look at something? Look at what's happening with that neck. That's not a human neck. There's something definitely wrong there. Wow. One of the most fittest presidents in the history of the United States I'm 238 pounds. And every inch of it is poundage.
Look at the crime in New York. Look at the incidents that happened where they're beating up elderly people in the streets, beating them up. And the cops aren't doing anything. And our prosecutors, they're just after Republicans, guys like me, the prosecutors.
There are, in fact, police in New York, and the prosecutors are, in fact, prosecuting people in New York if they beat up old people. The police. So now he's against the blue, I guess. They're not doing anything.
They should be. I think the biggest problem is our prosecutors in New York and other places. They go after.
That's the biggest problem.
To Republicans, but if you kill somebody, you're okay. It's a disgrace what's happening, and I don't think the country's going to stand for it much longer.
Really? What are we going to do? Going to march on the Capitol? Burn it down? Is that what we're going to do, this president?
They're disgusted.
Oh, yeah, no. Actually, we got 5 days before he's reinstated. Less than 5 days now. Fewer than 5 days. It's exciting.
You have a fake election. You have an election with voter abuse and with voter fraud like nobody's ever seen before.
You know, the funny thing is, still no one's ever seen it.
And based on that, and based on what happened, they're destroying our country. Whether it's at the border, whether it's on crime, I could say in plenty of instances, including.
Crime is down, by the way. Homicides are up. In general, though, crime is way down. Uh-oh. Is that all we get to see today? Is that what we done? Hello?
Military.
There we go. This is as good a time as any to let you guys know that At Random is now sponsoring YouTube TV. So a lot of the stuff that we get to watch, I get that off of the YouTube TVs, being sponsored by At Random. So they say thank you to At Random for all her support. All of our producers are wonderful folks, and At Random has actually been sponsoring that for a while, and I don't know that I've mentioned it before. So say thanks to At Random if you run into her randomly.
The leaders of military, the woke leaders of military, we have to focus.
Oh, I get it. So yeah, that's why Mike Pillow says that he's going to be reinstated on Friday, because he's having his the voter suppository this next 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, so he thinks that after 72 hours of suppository, this will be a movement.
Focus on our great military for what it's supposed to be, to protect us against very powerful countries like Russia and China and others who don't exactly love us.
I don't know what he's talking, like tuned out completely.
Mr. President, can you stay with us through this brief break?
Yes, go ahead, Dan. Sure.
Okay, so we'll skip ahead a little bit more. Again, we're not going to do the entire interview, or maybe we will. We're creating a town square. This is the fair use of a politician, national politician of some significance. We'll say former significance.
Before peaking at 250,000 cases in early January.
Here we go.
Give speeches and you see an American flag, you made a point to grab the flag, hug the flag, embrace yourself.
You almost said hump the flag.
You've been very proud of our country. Yet we have athletes in the Olympics.
I don't even know if At Random's still in here. She works for a living, so she could be out walking Rusty and not even listening. But anyway, if you run into At Random, say thanks.
Supposedly representing our country, deciding it's a good idea in front of an international audience to embarrass the country and take a knee, and you see.
Oh, he's talking about the Olympics, I guess.
Ratings plummet as a result. Your thoughts on that?
Well, the ratings do. It plummeted for the NFL. It plummeted for baseball. You see what's going on. But look at this.
Wait, what?
Soccer team, the women's soccer team. All of a sudden, they're not like they were. They were supposed to win the gold medal. But
all of a sudden? Yeah, because for years they've been woke. It's been mostly the same players for years, and they just keep winning gold medals. At all the international competitions, they happen to win. Did they win bronze this time? I think they won the bronze, right? I didn't pay attention. I know now the Olympics are over. I can give the spoiler. So I was going to watch the gold medal game because Canada was playing, I think, Sweden. And I was going to watch the gold medal game. And unfortunately, I saw a spoiler. Only news about Canada. I heard the entire Olympics. Canadian women's won the soccer gold. Darn it. Now I can't watch the game. And I thought, I will watch a little bit. No, here's the problem. They won in a shootout. I hate shootouts, especially in soccer. Now, if it's regular season, if it's tournament qualifying, if it's that sort of thing, that's fine. You got to end the thing. Let's move on with this thing. There's another opportunity. You should never lose a medal in a soccer shootout or a hockey shootout, etc. It's just chance. And I understand there's a certain amount of chance to sports. But in soccer, the goalie makes a guess, the kicker kicks it, and the goalie has, I don't know, somebody look it up. It's what, a 25, maybe 30% chance of saving? Probably less than that. I'm guessing maybe a 20% chance of the goalie actually saving a penalty kick. It's a guessing game. Why is the goalie even there? I'm amazed. A soccer game's always 1-0. Every soccer game in history is 1-0. The net is so big. Come on, guys. Should be a lot more goals in soccer. First off, get rid of the stupid offside rule. Nobody understands what offside is. Oh no, I understand. No, it keeps changing. It's a rule that keeps changing depending on the defenseman moving back and forth. Anyway, that's my rant about soccer. Speaking of which, join us for Ted Lasso. We're going to be talking Ted on Friday. I think we'll do it right at let's say 6:30. So that'll be 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern. If you're a Ted Lasso fan, catch yourself up. Watch the episode on Friday. Don't quote me exactly on that because I think the episode comes out midnight on Thursday. In other words, Friday morning at midnight. That gives everybody a chance to watch it before we talk about it. And I will be having a Google Meet where people will be in the room with me as well. And we'll just take a look at the episode. We will not watch the episode. It's on Apple TV. You have to have Apple TV to watch it. If you don't have Apple TV, it's $4.99 a month. Or maybe you have a friend with an Apple product. If you bought an Apple product recently, I think you're eligible for like a year of Apple TV. So look into it. I don't recommend any Apple products except the Apple M1 Airbooks. They're fantastic for the price. If you're buying a new laptop and you want to do video editing, etc., the M1 it's an amazing chip. So I do recommend those highly. Now, do you want to spend $1,000 just to avoid the $4.99 per month fee so you can watch Ted Lasso? Yes, totally worth it. It's that good of a show. You'll enjoy it, and it'll take us away from any news. You won't even be able to remember. What is his name? This guy. What? See? That's what it does. What it does. Chris Wilson thinks Americans think a 3-1 soccer match is boring, but a football game that ends 21-7 was entertaining. I know there's a lot of American football that's super boring as well. A 9-6 game? A 6-9 game? No, they should go to the Canadian rules. Make it exciting. Chris Wilson gets discounts because the son is the manager of an Apple store. Yeah. So everybody asked Chris Wilson for his Apple passport. Problem solved. Judges agree. The judges will be contacting you, Chris.
The word woke.
Producer Joanna, are you in here? Producer Joanna? Oh,
means
you know what? Or Marcy. So if you have Apple TV sends out on Fridays, I guess they send out a thing saying, hey, the new Ted Lasso is available or whatever. I just want to make sure, or someone just look it up. When does the next episode become available? I just want to make sure before we set in stone the time for Talking Ted. And I'm sorry for those of you who don't have Apple TV. I shouldn't even be talking about it. I'm just teasing it right now. We're going to be doing Talking Ted. I want to do this with a bunch of different TV shows. If there's a TV show that you love, let me know. Maybe we'll deal with that one.
Loser. If you're
Loser.
woke, you're going to lose. And ultimately, we're not going to let woke make this country into a loser.
Again, U.S. women's soccer team, amazing record, lost the game at the Olympics to Canada, who won the gold medal. Not like they're no slouch. That's Canada.
But you watch that, and I watched some of the people, and I was very proud that some of the young women on the soccer team stood up proudly, and they stood up proudly against all odds with what they have to put up with on that.
They stood up against all odds. They stood for the flag against all odds. They persevered. Why can't I do the series on a different night? No, because I want to do it Friday night because that's when the episode comes out. I know it's new episodes on Friday, but when? Maybe give you a day to... No. People watch it and they want to watch it and they want to talk about it right away. Day or two to watch, please. Plus, Friday nights, I've kind of like already scheduled that out. Maybe we can do Talking Ted and then we'll do a movie afterwards. But then that gets pretty late, so I figure we move movie night to Saturday night because we're all pretty much shut-ins anyway.
Team.
We can't watch it on we can't watch it together. We can't broadcast Apple TV. I want to do this not as a private group, but over YouTube, etc. Over YouTube, Twitters, etc. I want to bring more people into it. I want to get guest stars from the show. I want to make this happen. Just like the Talking Dead, etc. For Walking Dead. I don't know of a show that's doing Talking Ted. And we could do a show every night. That could be my job. Let's make it happen. Of course, I have to get monetized by YouTube again, but it's been since February. 30 days. 30 days. We'll take a look at your count there, Kev.
But the word woke is loser, and our soccer team did not get the gold medal.
So the word woke means loser.
And they frankly didn't even come close to it. And
well, they got the bronze. Bronze is pretty close to the gold. It's third place. Gold is first place. That's 2 places away. Pretty close. Pretty close. By the way, I've seen Olympic bronze medals. If you won one, just tell people it's gold. No one's going to know. They look exactly the same.
We are, look, the country doesn't like it. I don't like it. And a lot of people have turned off the sports.
I'm not canceling movie nights. We're going to do movie nights on Saturday nights.
LeBron James, they don't like him. The NBA didn't do great, but they did better after he was out.
By the way, these hands are Chris Hardwick's hands. I was a hand model, a hand double for Chris Hardwick. So we're pretty much the same person, at least that much of us. So when you see an Xfinity ad, those hands, those are Chris Hardwick's hands.
They don't want this. There's enough of it. They want to watch sports. They want to watch great athletes. They don't want politics in the middle of their sports games, and that includes the announcement.
Oh my God, can I not do anything without somebody complaining? We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure out Talking Ted, but we're doing it on Friday night. Yeah, it drops at 3 a.m. East time on the East Coast, but it's 3 a.m. in the morning on Friday, which means it'll be 9:30 p.m. on the East Coast. They'll have had time to watch the Ted Lasso.
Too. I hear some of these announcers, they're not big shots, that I can tell you, but
the announcers are the real problem at the Olympics.
Listen to what they say,
and
you just want to turn off the game, and
he's such a terrible grandfather.
People do. You see the ratings, how bad they are.
Yeah. Mr. President, I appreciate your time, been very generous with it. One question for you about school closures. This is a hot issue right now. The teachers' unions, remarkably, we saw a story out at Fox News about the Chicago's teachers' unions, which is implying they could shut down the schools again now. Parents, understandably, are really fired up. This could be upwards of 3 years of their children's lives taken away from them. No social interaction, no school.
It's been less than a year, hasn't it? Wait, okay, no, it's been a year and then a couple of months. Yeah, so it's been a year and a couple of months, upwards of 3 years. We're not even halfway to 3 years yet.
It's just not the same on Zoom. It's just not the same thing. Your thoughts?
Well, no, it's not the same thing. One is remote and one is in class. Who said it was the same thing?
On that as a father yourself.
Well, first of all, you mentioned Chicago, and let's talk about crime before we talk about that. But they're both just horrible. But where 70 people get shot over a weekend, 70 people, and many of those people die.
Yeah, that was happening under your watch as well. And remember, you were going to fix that. You were going to fix that. You were going to send a bunch of FBI agents to Chicago. You were going to send, and you kept threatening to do that. You kept threatening, and then you finally said, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to have special forces, FBI, super secret guard, come in, and we're going to fix Chicago. So there you go, Rahm Emanuel. Here's all this federal help. Didn't work.
In Afghanistan, we haven't lost a soldier in a year and a half because of what I did.
Yes, it's my birthday on Friday. That's an excellent point, Joanna. It's my birthday. We are having Talking Ted on Friday. And then maybe we'll watch a movie for my birthday. I've already picked the movie, by the way.
In a year and a half. And yet in Chicago, you have 70, 80 people being shot some weekends. It's a disgrace. As far as the schools have to open. These young people are losing a big part of their life, and they're not going to recover from it.
They'll never be the same. Kids, the one thing about kids, can't recover from things. They just, once they're affected, that's it. They're done. Toss them out.
The schools have to open. What they're going through socially, I mean, they're not dealing with people. I don't think they ever. It's going to leave a scar on their lives. It's going to leave a psychological scar. We have to open our schools. I say let the teachers get the vaccine. They should get the vaccine.
Oh, I see. Mandate the teachers. Mandate the teachers get the vaccine. That's how you open the schools. Make the teachers get the vaccine.
Hope they do. Again, it's something I'm very proud of.
The kids will never recover, though. I'm sorry, Goldie, but your son he's done. His life is over because he couldn't see his classmates for a couple of weeks. It's not a couple of weeks. It's a huge deal. But honestly, if I was given the option in high school to stay home and work on a computer, first off, it'd be like, computers can do that? And secondly, I don't have to have the pressure of everybody in class watching and judging me at all times. I haven't seen a study on this, but I am willing to bet good money because I have a daughter who did homeschool the last couple of years. True. Goldie says, how would I be a yell leader from home? I was a yell leader in high school. I can still be a yell leader at home. I wonder if they let the football teams play, do they also let the cheerleaders go? You know how there's some schools have nobody in the stands? There was that thing going on for a while. Do they allow cheerleading as well? Because cheerleading is officially a sport, right? I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time talking about cheerleading. Those are the glory days. Pass you by. Wink of a young girl's eye.
I think if we didn't come up during the Trump administration with a vaccine, you could have 100 million people dead, just like you had in 1917. You take the Spanish.
So vaccines are good, right? So everyone should get the vaccine, right?
Flu, 100 million.
1917, Spanish flu.
People, up to 100 million people died. I think we'd be in that territory. This has been great for the world, but the teachers, let them go, get the vaccine. I don't know.
Oh, let them? What if they refuse, sir? Do we still open the schools?
I don't know how they're being dealt with. They have different unions, but they have one in particular. They don't want to ever go back to work. It's crazy.
Oh, that's what it is. The teachers don't want to go back to work. Got it.
Yeah.
Our children need to be they need to be educated. You know,
our children do need to be educated. He's correct.
Turned out computers are wonderful and all of that. But one thing we've learned through college and school, the undergraduate everything, is that being in the school is much better than looking at a computer screen.
Without being in school, you never become a victim of a school shooting, and you never learn how to deal with that. It's true.
That's one thing.
I'm waiting on the judges to wherever they are. I think they're remote right now. And it's just not the same. It's not the same as the judges being here. It's absolutely true. I don't know if the judges prefer it, but okay, apparently they prefer it. Yeah, that was quick. Wherever they are.
Almost everybody universally agrees to.
No, he did not get the year right this time. He said 1917. It was 1918, by the way, for the flu. We passed 100 times. It wasn't recently. It was right after his presidency. He got to 100. We had a big party.
And the children have to go back to school.
Mr. President, last question, and we'll let you.
You know, if he really wanted that to be a policy, he should have won the presidency.
Go again. Thanks for your time. The Biden administration's taken a shot at your economic record, which is kind of hilarious given how awful of a job they've done.
So again, okay, now this is Dan Bagina saying that the Biden administration has done a terrible job with the economy. Okay, the economy is terrible right now. You got your inflation. Gas prices are high. Your inflation, right? So this is what Dan Bagina just said. Economy is terrible.
They're claiming, they're comparing the rebound from the coronavirus, the lows, to your record. Now, when you got into office, GDP grew well over the average of the 8 Obama years.
It didn't. It never even got close. Trump inherited 3.3. It fell to 3. Before the China virus got here, it was 2.4. That's the last quarterly growth we got before the virus. And then, of course, the virus. And again, this is the only president ever to lose jobs.
That's got to upset you, given everything you did to juice the economy at the time. Tax.
Somebody named Messenger is in there. I can't see Messenger at all. He's not getting through. Oh, I figured this out. So, with the software that we use, If people are banned from posting in any live stream that use this software, it bans them completely. So Messenger, we can't see you. You're a troll. Everybody knows it. You've been banned. I'm not banning you from this chat. Other people have banned you already. So shape up. Like, delete your account, go on Parler or something. Getter, I think they do kitty porn on Getter. Enjoy. But this is you've done this to yourself. Leslie says they contradict themselves by saying there are too many jobs out there and Americans aren't looking for them because of stimulus check. Yeah, it's everything is a contradiction. There's 9.3 million jobs. Why doesn't anybody want them? What? Low-skilled immigrants? Keep them out of here. The last thing we want is a bunch of immigrants with COVID. We need to get the kids back in school together. And no masks.
Cuts and everything else.
So the reason that our economy is doing well right now,
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. He just said that the Bidens have done a terrible job with the economies. Well, the reason the economy is doing so well right now, because it is. He's going to take credit for it, though.
relatively well, is because of the foundations that we built. What they're doing and the numbers that you're seeing are because of us, not because of them.
But the numbers we're seeing are terrible, right? Remember? Gas prices, inflation. You got your inflation and also your gas prices, your inflation on your gas prices on inflate, all of it. They're just terrible. But you take a look at the numbers and it's just doing really well. That's because it's our numbers.
Plus, what they're doing is a lot of artificial stimulus is being added in, which makes numbers look a little bit better. But
I thought the numbers look terrible. Dan Bagina just said that the numbers look terrible.
The reason we're doing well is because of what we did. If you look at...
Oh, we are? So we're doing well? Okay, Trump said the economy's doing well.
Just prior to the virus coming in from China, we had the greatest employment numbers we've ever had. We had 100...
We didn't. We did have more people working than any other time in history, but that's because population increases. That's what happens.
160.
And 5 years from now, we'll have more people working than ever before. And 5 years from then, we'll have more people than ever working before. Surprisingly, we have more people working today in the United States, even after COVID, than we did 100 years ago. That is a fact.
Million people working. African American, Asian American, Hispanic
Stimuli is correct, that right now.
American, women.
The one group that supports him the most, white males, never reached low unemployment records. Never did. The one group that supports him more than any other, they got screwed in all of this. I love irony.
People with diplomas, without diplomas, high schools without and with diplomas.
Look at this. So this kid's throwing a pitch right there, and Trump is looking at this, like scowling at the guys throwing the ball. It's like, oh, this is ridiculous. I can show him how to throw a ball. It's just pathetic. Like, pick up the ball, throw it with them, give him a toss, smile at the kids. Move your arms when you walk, like a humanoid.
Everybody at the top of the line. In the history of our country, it was the strongest. And again, we've never had 160 million people working, not even close right now.
No, we've had I don't know how many are working right now. Probably about 155 million are back. We're still short of the jobs that we need.
So we had the best numbers we've ever had.
Yeah.
Then we had the virus come in, and then...
I mean, no, I'm just saying, yeah, go on.
And I rebuilt the economy a second time, and they're just going off what I rebuilt. That's all they're doing.
So the economy's great right now because of you. Okay, all right. You know what? I'll take it.
Because they're killing the economy. You're going to have inflation. It's going to eat us alive. We were energy independent. We're no longer energy independent.
We weren't energy independent.
I don't know if you saw, Dan, but they went to sea, and they had meetings with Russia and OPEC.
They went to sea? Like on a boat? What? What did he just say?
Going off what I rebuilt. That's all they're doing because they're killing the economy. You're going to have inflation. It's going to eat us alive. We were energy independent.
The inflation is going to eat us alive like an alien.
We're no longer energy independent. I don't know if you saw, Dan, but they went to sea and they had meetings with Russia and.
Did they? Did someone go to sea and have meetings with Russia? I must have missed that. Were there meetings on a boat somewhere? Did they get together in the Caspian Sea and have a summit? And who are these people?
OPEC, to see if they would get us more
OPEC,
energy.
okay.
We had so much energy we didn't know what to do with it. We were $1.87 a gallon for gasoline.
Yeah, when no one was going anywhere. That's supply and demand. That's how that works.
And now we're up to $4.50, and it's going much higher.
In some places, yeah.
Higher. So what they're doing is going to destroy the economics of our country, and maybe more importantly, what they're doing at the border and other places, and with a lack of.
What other places? Can you be more specific than that? The border and other places.
Respect that other countries have for us. Our country is being destroyed.
Mr. President, thanks for your time. It's an honor to speak to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Dan. Bye.
Coming up.
Bye. All right, that's that. Christopher Ryan pays $2.87 a gallon for gas. Where are you, Christopher? You're in Florida or something like that? So yeah. All right. Well, there you go, guys. That was your interview with oh God, what is his name? Guys, I'm drawing a blank again. Sorry. The guy that built the economy that we're all enjoying right now, that's so great, that's terrible. You know, the really good, awful economy. That's that one. Okay, guys. So that was fun. That was your interview with President Trump. Again, we don't show all of the things he said, maybe because we're creating fair use, public forum, etc., etc. I think that's probably it for today. I might come back a little bit later. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I'm still trying to get the third monitor working. I'm trying to transfer hard drives. It's all kind of stuff. Again, thanks to Marcy for sending this laptop. This is really my birthday present, along with the mug. Thanks to @Random for sponsoring YouTube TV. Thanks for Christopher Ryan for pointing out that he's paying $2.87 a gallon. Everyone who's not paying $2.87 a gallon probably hates Christopher Ryan right now. Thanks to whoever Messenger was for joining us today and keeping people amused, I guess, in the chat room. So we will talk at you later. And again, I want to do the TED Talking on Friday because of my birthday. Although, now, I shouldn't make any plans for Friday. You know what? Probably not this Friday because I'm being asked by Kevinly daughter what I'm doing this Friday for my birthday. So I don't know. I don't have a job and I can't make any plans. This is the best, worst economy ever. We'll figure it out. We'll see you tomorrow. Probably, I might do a Spilling Covfefe in the morning if I wake up early enough. I got a tennis thing in the morning, so that's not till 9. We'll maybe do that. Anybody else got something to say in the chat room? We're off topic now. We're done with the interview. If there's somebody who wants to talk about something specifically, we'll talk about it in the chat room. Oh, someone wanted to take a look at the doctor from Mount Vernon. Did anybody? Let's take a look. Let's leave Dan Bagina up there for a second. I'm going to go into my Twitters and see if someone sent me a message about that. Marcy shared a link. Let's see if it's something that. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, Marcy came through for us here. Give me just a moment here, and I'll bring this up. And we'll bring this up.
We're still having a problem, and I would suggest the reason we still have a problem is because we're doing things that are not useful.
Okay.
And stock 5777.
So this is Mount Vernon Community School Corporation. I don't know which Mount Vernon this is. This could be just the name of a place. This could, of Community School Corporation. This could be Mount Vernon, Washington. This could be any Mount Vernon. Vernon is the most common city name in the United States after Springfield. So I don't know where this is from. Indiana? Thank you, Tracy. I'm going to go with that. Here we go. This is some doctor in Mount Vernon, perhaps Indiana.
From West 700 North McCordsville, Indiana. Dr. Dan Stock, 5777.
Okay, so they say Indiana right there. Thank you, guys, if I'd just taken 2 seconds to listen. This is why I don't do research. That's why I'm never wrong. Joanna says it's 4.19 here. That's true, and that's probably Costco because producer Joanna will only buy gas at Costco. She will run out of gas and push her car the extra 10 miles to get to the Costco gasoline to avoid paying that extra 2 cents. By the way, guys, if you do use gas in your car, which you probably do, you got to use the gas app. I will put my code up in the next, if I remember, in the next live stream. You get, I use it for Kevinly daughter's car, and it just, you get a card and you get at least 6 cents off a gallon. Sometimes it's 20 cents off. Sometimes it's 40 cents off. So I'll put that code in there. And then you guys just use Gas Buddy to find out where the cheap gas is. You use your Gas Buddy card and you get, like I said, minimum 6 cents a gallon. Fantastic. They do not do Costco. So if you are a Costco member and that's where you fill up, good for you. But otherwise, all over town, is even some of the cheaper stations, they accept the card. And sometimes it ends up being about the same price as Costco. So in terms of keep taking care of it, that's great. I know At Random has used it. Kevinly daughter uses it. I'll put my code up, and then if you do that, I think I get 10 cents or something. I don't know. Actually, Kevinly daughter gets 10 cents. My car runs on hydrogen, so my fuel is free. And I'm sorry for those of you who can't get hydrogen because you're not in California. Here we go.
West 700 North McCordsville, Indiana. To address your comment, gee, it's hard to believe we're 18 months into this and still having a problem. And I would suggest the reason we still have a problem is because we're doing things that are not useful. And we're getting our sources of information from the Indiana State Board of Health and the CDC, who actually don't bother to read science before they do this.
Okay, well, it sounds good so far.
I'm actually a functional family medicine physician. That means I am specially trained in immunology and inflammation regulation. And everything being recommended by the CDC and the State Board of Health is actually contrary to all the rules of science.
Oh.
So things you should know about.
Why didn't anybody tell us this before?
Coronavirus and all other respiratory viruses. They are spread by aerosol particles, which are small enough to go through
That's not how it works, by the way. But anyway.
every mask. By the way, the literature that supports all of that is in a flash drive that we presented to you. It's been given to the Secretary. As a matter of fact, it quotes at least 3 studies sponsored by the NIH to that exact fact, even though the CDC and the NIH have chosen to ignore the very science that they paid to have done. That is why you keep struggling with this, is because you cannot make these viruses go away. The natural history of all respiratory viruses is that they circulate all year long, waiting for the immune system to get sick through the winter or become deranged, as has happened recently with these vaccines, and then they cause symptomatic.
Oh, deranged immune system. So you don't want a robust immune system. You want a deranged immune system. By the way, you don't want a really robust immune system with COVID, because COVID can trigger your immune system to attack your body. And then it shuts down the vital organs because it creates a cytokine storm. The cytokine it starts attacking the liver, etc., and then you die. So don't have a robust immune system if you can avoid it. Or just get the vaccine.
Disease, because they cannot be filtered out and they have animal reservoirs. And this is a very important point. No one can make this.
Boy, looking at this at 6.5 minutes long, I don't know if I can even play this. Like, I don't want to get banned from YouTube for playing this. Yeah, you know what? I can't risk it. Because I could literally be deplatformed for playing this. Now, I've listened to like 5 seconds of this guy and realized, like, okay, this guy's a complete quack. So, guys, I can't play it for you. Sorry. I'll repost this on Twitter. So you can go. Well, I don't even know if I can do that. Yeah, I'm sure I can. I should be okay because I'm obviously on Twitter. They're going to take a look at things. There's actual people who work for Twitter as opposed to the bots at YouTube. And bots at YouTube, if you're watching, please give me back my monetization for my birthday. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to do it on YouTube to watch the suppository hearings with the Mike Pillow guy tomorrow, because they may be shutting that down as well. I don't know. I just wish somebody responsible would sue all the big techies. I'd get on board with that. What's an animal reservoir? That is where that's where they keep the water. At the tip, a little reservoir for water. So I can't watch this. But I could do a Google Meet, and then we could all meet in the Google Meet, and we could watch this. Not worth it. You can find this online. Hold I will retweet it online. Give me a second here. This is the personal blog media news. Let me pull it up on Twitter. So you can go to my Twitter page, and I will quote the tweet. It's at KevinlyFather. This is nuts. That should be enough. And I'll hit tweet. So it is now, if you go to at KevinlyFather on Twitter, thank you, Marcy. You should be able to see that. Speaking of Google Meets, I'm hungry. Goldie, we having dinner tonight? Oh, wait, I'm out in Beverly Hills and you're all the way back in Montebello. It's not going to work. All right, kids, that's it for today, I think. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and most importantly, it's my birthday. Be good to me.